Hey guys, it's Jazdeep. A lot of you guys might know me from the class, and this is actually kind of different. It's a spin-off. It's not Issa, so I'm just gonna be telling the story of her relationship. Okay, so basically, it all takes place about a year ago when her and a guy named Tim had a socials class together, which was Mr. Sohal's class. So as you can see, she's drawing it here, and basically they sat across each other for about a couple months, and they never ever like talked to each other. But the way that they actually first came to talk to each other was through a mutual friend. And here's Issa poorly drawing herself, and she's next gonna draw hello and the mutual friend whose name was Angelo. And basically, here was the first start or spark of a fire. They started talking because she talked to Angelo and said happy birthday to him, and from there on out, it went uphill for at least for now. So they exchanged social media, but all they usually would talk about was about socials class because they both had homework, and there was never really more than that. But until her 16th birthday rolled around, so me and a bunch of friends threw her a surprise party, and at the surprise party, we made sure, of course, Tim, who she showed a little bit of interest in, was there. Oh, thank you. And so basically, what had happened was we contacted another mutual friend whose name was Kyle, and also her. So basically, we told Kyle to bring Tim, and when Issa's mom came around at the party, she told Issa, hey, I have another surprise for you. So go look at the door, and at the door there was a bunch of guys whose names were Tim, who was brought around by Kyle, Clarence, and Paul. I mean Ben. Sorry, I mean Ben. Ben came around, but it's her birthday, yeah. So that's mainly all that mattered. So happy birthday. They brought her a big fat cake, and she never ate one bit of it. Thank you. Like, I ended up eating it. Anyways, so this there's a lot going on. So basically what had happened was after that birthday, which Tim, by the way, was the last one to leave. After that birthday, the four kind of had a click. So basically what had happened was that they went out to Korean barbecue, and that's what the last clip was. And they kind of started talking more. So basically Tim got a little pumped, and Issa was like, who do you think you are? Because what had happened was he basically found out that she thought he was cool, and so he started acting a bit cocky. But then his mom had to go on a business trip with his dad to Jamaica, and when they did that, wow, Jamaica. When they did that, Tim's mom, who had became friends with Issa's mom because of the birthday party, they were talking, and they were like, oh yeah, can Tim have company sometimes because he's gonna be lonely at home and stuff like that. So obviously the mom said yes, and she said no, and so Issa was a little bit upset about that. And basically he started ruining her life. Like, he would come, and she would always hear from her room them talking together with the parents. Well, I mean, what can you do when you're a parent and you like another person better than your own fucking daughter? But anyways, so she kind of started seeing the nice side of Tim, the sweet side of Tim, when he would go around and do things for her, just like the simplest things. And she started seeing that he's actually sweet. Like, he would run through the rain because their work was across the street from each other, and he would go on his break really quickly and just be like, oh hey Issa, like, what's up? Like, who does that? What the hell? That's so lame. Anyway, she doesn't even deserve that. But then he basically asked her mom, oh, like, can I date your daughter? And she said yes. And this was great because Tim and her dad had a lot in common. They had shoes, action figures, all these things. They liked all of it. And so it wasn't really a big deal. It was like there's another Issa running around, but in guy version. I don't know how anyone would like that. But yeah, they went on a bunch of things like road trips and camping with the family, and it was great. But that also resulted in a lot of fights. There's not always greatness that comes with your entire family knowing about your relationship. And they were pretty big. And
They were
Yours.
petty. They were like not turning off the lights.
Oh, sorry. They were petty. They were okay. Here she is. But anyways, honestly, I would say they're pretty big. I'm a witness. Yours truly. And anyways, they basically came to the conclusion that they're gonna get married.
No, no.
And basically, the fights make them stronger and bring them closer. I don't think so, but clearly it does, because they're still together 7 months later. And so, the mom, dad, no, Tim's mom and Olive. Tim's mom and Issa's mom are best friends forever, and this just resulted in more friendships and more love and more experiences, and a best friend that you could date is what Issa got, and that's all. Thank you for listening. My name's Shazdeep, and hope you enjoyed this crash course.